are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Hey fam, this is a new video. This is a look at Too Lazy to Try's video about the Flagrant podcast featuring Andrew Schultz. They talking about President Trump and his, let's say his troubles with the Epstein files and all of the hand-wringing and all of the bullshit that he's been troubling and speaking to us about it, all of the lies and shit that he's been trying to get away with. This is a different video, so I'm going to be going over his take on the Flagrant podcast, and I'll...
He's a fucking liar, and I was like, oh, I thought they were all liars. I didn't realize that there were people that tell you the truth. Everything he campaigned on, I believe he wanted to do. And now he's doing the exact opposite thing of every single fucking thing. Like, they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for. Yeah. I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like...
And almost every comment on these podcasts is negative, which of course Schultz acts like he doesn't understand why people are criticizing him. You know, he just keeps acting like people are saying he shouldn't be able to call someone out who he voted for. But I think the point most people are trying to make is Schultz should have known better.
Okay, so, yes. Schultz should have known better. A lot of us should have known better to vote for certain people. In this video, I'm not going to rehash everything that's going on. I want to get certain segments, and I want to dive deeper into them. And I want to see if I can ask the question, why do people seemingly disregard their own intuition and their own beliefs and still believe certain people in our government or even certain people in our lives are innocent no matter what the evidence says? Why do Donald Trump's supporters remain unconvinced about his connections to Jeffrey Epstein, even though there's a mountain of evidence that he has been involved with him for at least 30 years. And now he's trying to gaslight everybody that I never knew him, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to argue that fact. That is a waste. I want to go into the underlying reasons why certain people are just defending him. And I want to see if I can try to understand that. So, yeah, let's do it.
Believe that Trump was going to drain the swamp and release the Epstein files shows he has no idea what's going on.
What is the best way to handle, like, somebody that I voted for that is not living up to their promises? I'm criticizing them, and some responses are, well, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. And I was like, I don't know if that's the best way to build a coalition. What do you think? What do you think about that, John?
No, that shit drives me nuts, because I think, first of all, Trump lies a lot. He's always lied a lot. And it also assumes that every single person in America was supposed to be paying attention to like every single word that Donald Trump has ever said.
Right.
And which they're not. But then aside from all that, like you said, if you want to persuade people to join your coalition, which is how you actually win elections, then when someone says, oh, I'm disappointed in the person I voted for, you say, well, welcome.
Are you delicate about it? Do you feel like you have to be even more critical? Are you ever concerned that like you guys have so much influence that your critiques could sway voters away? Like, how do you hold your own party accountable is basically what I'm asking.
I mean, you know, about a year ago, after the debate between Biden and Trump, we sort of immediately after the debate said that it was fucking awful and that Biden should seriously think.
It's not sweet. It's not naivete that he believes that people should be held accountable. It is stupid.
I guess we experience it as, for whatever people thrown in this, political mess. But there has to be a version, I think, also where as Democrats, like, this is a democracy. You want votes. You don't have enough. You lost last time, right? You want to win this time? If you see people that seem to have swayed over to Trump that are now disillusioned with Trump, you have the opportunity to build a coalition with those people. And you don't build a coalition by just going, hey, fucking idiot, why would you, stupid fucking, that's not how you build. I'm not some fucking Democrat cult member, Republican cult member. Like, we're supposed to be free Americans that can make up decisions on our own, call balls and strikes, as you say, and then hold the people in power accountable. When people fail us on the promises they make, we should criticize them. Like, what is the alternative? We just vote and then agree with every single thing that person does. A lot of, staunch liberals who pretended that the person they voted for wasn't dead for 4 years. Like, they pretended Biden wasn't senile for 4 years. And we're getting lectured for criticizing the person that I voted for. Like, I think
they're pretending they had a really viable, awesome candidate that we all should have voted for, and not just acknowledging.
Lecturing you. I mean, I don't get it, because they think we
platformed him. We talked to him.
Not even that. It's just they're like, you should have known better. This guy's a career con man. He just always lies. You should have known. And it's like,
so dumb. That's why the Democrats lost.
Now, there was a lot of people that I talked to about Trump and about other conservative leaders. And there's some things that I've come up with about why certain people are aligned with or have a loyalty to certain other people, in this case Donald Trump. These are just off the top. There's something called undying loyalty. That's for some, they support Trump, and it runs so deep that any accusation, regardless of evidence, is seen as politically motivated. I mean, we've seen that in 2016. We've seen that in 2020. We see it all the time. There's another one called deep-seated antitrust. Many in Trump's base have a strong distrust of mainstream media. He calls them the lamestream media, calls them fake news, the justice system and federal agencies. He weaponized the federal agencies because he's fired everybody from there, and he's instituted his own people who, we've seen how that's doing. There's also I trust him because what about everybody else? It's a common tactic to deflect by bringing up other prominent figures like Donald Trump's favorite person in the world, Joe Biden, or Bill Clinton, or Hillary Clinton. The argument here is that Trump is being unfairly targeted while others are being ignored for being far, far worse than him. Another one is perceived lack of smoking gun. Evidence in some cases, the publicly available information might be open to interpretation, allowing supporters to argue that there's no definitive, undeniable proof of a connection. And that's what you see almost every single day, especially with his tweets, especially now, something that dropped today on Friday, July 19th, about Obama. He did the hoax, and it's just one thing after another with this fucking guy. And there's another thing, believe what you want to believe, confirmation bias. People naturally gravitate towards information that confirms their existing beliefs. Supporters selectively interpret or select evidence that contradicts their view of Trump's innocence. Now, we see this in a lot of podcasters like Joe Rogan or that Benny Johnson guy or any one of Trump's sycophantic people in his administration. And it's just, what about everybody else? Common tactic that brought me to this part in the video where Schultz is talking about he's hitting on one of the main threads of this conservatives when they talk about Joseph Biden, great president, how he's been dead for 4 years. So we're supposed to just believe that he did all these great things, and Trump is doing other great things, and because he's alive, and that the administration, the deep state, hid the fact that Joe Biden was dead for 4 years. The truth of the matter is, it's just bullshit that he had dementia, pretty much. I mean, I'm not a doctor, I didn't see his medical records, but he had dementia in the last year, maybe the last 2 years. But the thing is, he got more accomplished administratively than Donald Trump has in his first 4 years and will do in his next 4 years. And talking about cognition, here's a couple of videos here talking about Trump's cognition and Joe Biden's record.
He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him, but they did. To hold trusted positions in public office. And few of those trusted positions are more important than the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Accordingly, it is my pleasure and my honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I have dementia, but Trump said Biden elected Powell, and Powell is the worst ever Fed chairman. But the videotape shows fearless, adorned, great leader swearing this motherfucker in the White House under Trump. Now, make it make sense, people. Now, here's a little montage of what Joe's been up to the last 4 years. Take it away.
One in politics is a pedophile, and you might as well vote for whatever one you agree with the most, which it sounds like at first he's saying Trump is obviously on the list, but so is everyone else. And then he starts talking about how Trump is scared for his life. That's why we aren't getting a list. And then he says Trump, he doesn't have authority over it, and he knows Trump isn't into young girls and sex isn't his thing. He says sex isn't Trump's thing, which is completely insane. And he said even his biggest haters would tell you that. But I think it's more like the opposite. You know, I think even his biggest supporters would say Trump's a horn dog. Like, that's not even a question. You know, this is the grab by the pussy guy. And every time he was on Howard Stern, he'd talk about all this crazy shit he does. You know, how he walks around women's changing rooms during beauty pageants and sees young girls naked. And also Robin called him a sexual predator one time. And Donald's like, yeah, that's true. Like, even if he's not on Epstein's list, the guy's a horn dog. There's no debate about that. So him trying to tell his fans otherwise is so bizarre. So he either just doesn't know what Trump is like at all, which is hard to believe, or he got the call because we know Trump and his team are reaching out to influencers trying to get them to take it easy with this.
I'm giving advice to people now that live in this country. Choose the file you agree with. Choose the file whose values are yours. Who wants better schools? Probably all of them. What has the viewpoint that you align with? Who is the who's going to make sure your children have a shot at the American dream? You cannot ask that they don't f kids. You cannot ask that. It's a bridge too far. Stop being greedy. I think Trump knows they'll kill him. I think Trump knows that they'll kill him. I think he does. Truly, I believe he knows that. I believe he knows that the people that killed all of those people would find a way to kill him if this came out. I believe that he knows that. I believe he believes that some faction of those people tried to kill him already. Don't quite know who, but I believe that is what he believes. I don't know that.
There's a thing called confirmation bias, where people naturally gravitate towards information that confirms their existing beliefs. Supporters may selectively interpret or simply reject evidence that contradicts their views of anybody's innocence, no matter what the evidence says contrary. And in this instance, I think a lot of people right now, especially Trump's podcasters, influencers, his base, the MAGA base, they're coping hard right now, as influenced by all of the turmoil. A lot of people coming out saying, well, he's either being threatened, his family's being threatened, or he's protecting other people that are on the list, innocent people, or pick your choice, pick your poison. Trump is always going to be the noble figure, and he's always going to be our protector, because this is what some of these people, majority of these people, want to believe. Some of them, though, are slowly but surely facing the light of the fact that he lied to them, and a lot of them are not liking it.
Pedophiles, you are the most cockeyed person in the entire world.
So I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. Because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good.
This thing's a lot. And so, I mean, if you think that I'm wrong, that's fine. Oh, here we go. There's more.
They've got videotape, and all of a sudden they don't. You have the director of the FBI on the show saying there's no. If there was, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what?
These aren't the tapes you're looking for.
What did they say? There was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit. Why did they say that?
Right.
Didn't Pam Bondi say that?
What, are you talking about Epstein or did he?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah, she's.
Which one?
That it literally, I think, a week before you had the FBI director sitting here telling you there was nothing, right?
Yeah. She said something about that there was like thousands.
She said straight up. She said straight out, plain out, absolutely, that they confiscated thousands of hours. Yes.
Of hours of tapes of people doing horrible.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
He's an asshole, too, sir. Gun is made first class Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
I want to thank you for watching this video. Those of you who've stayed all the way to the end, this is a different type of video than what I've used to producing. If you like it, please hit the bell, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe bell, hit the like bell, do all the YouTube stuff. Leave me a comment. I know that I'm coming off kind of like a Andrew Schultz hater, or even a Donald Trump hater. Nothing can be further from the truth. I do like Andrew Schultz's comedy. I've watched 2 of his specials, and I just don't like people who refuse to see what's in front of them, and they do all of this whataboutism. Well, you know what? I can't fix myself because of this person. What about her flaws? What about his flaws? So that person, is so fucked up. Why should I even try? Or I hate excuses. So these a lot of people in the media are just giving our leaders, Democratic and Republican, a wide margin, a wide berth, a lot of excuses, and it's time for us to look through the looking glass and say, enough excuses, the buck stops here. Do something right, do something by us, good, or we're going to vote your asses out of office. Because we are the people. So let's get to it, America. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.